Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us again for our weekly COVID-19 updates. We hope you find these helpful and useful, and we'll let you know how to get information to us as we do every week. At the end of our presentation today, we have our usual Emergency Operations Center team lineup for you today, and then also a special guest from Davie County Recreation and Parks to talk about a big event that happened this week in Davie County. But we'll go ahead in the interest of time for you and dive right into our presentation today. So on behalf of the Davie County Board of Commissioners and Assistant County Manager Robin West and myself, John Eller, Davie County Manager, thank you for joining us today. So we'll go ahead and get into our first speaker who had a really big week, our Superintendent of Davie County Schools, Mr. Jeff Wallace. Mr. Wallace, tell us the information. We got a lot of information out of Raleigh this week, but tell us your information and what you'd like the community and parents and families to know.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, staff and guests and the community. You're exactly right. Governor Cooper did make an announcement yesterday regarding reopening of North Carolina schools. And he did announce that schools would operate under Plan B, which basically boils down to schools will operate at nearly 50% capacity or occupancy. He did alter that just slightly, but the point is that we will have children in the building that to approximately 50% where we can safely social distance for all children and all staff. We are working diligently on plans to determine students as we divide them into A group and B group. This will be done based upon geographic locations. That is to do our best to accommodate getting siblings and household children in school on the same day. And of course, there'll be some modifications that we have to work with that. The concern is, of course, with the social distancing requirements on school buses, that we can only put one kid per seat, and kids must wear a mask while riding the bus. And that's going to cause us to run multiple routes because we have buses that can hold up to 72 elementary students. And that's 3 per seat. So we just to get that one set of kids to school would take 3 to 4 bus routes. And so we're very concerned about that, the financing for that, but we're working through that as well. Also, one of the another significant announcement the governor made yesterday was that in the original document or guidance, students under the age 11 and under were not required to wear masks. But yesterday, the announcement was made and decision was made that changed, that all staff, students, grades K through 12 will be required to wear a mask while in school buildings and outside of school buildings. Now, of course, there will be accommodations made where necessary for children that due to health issues and staff, we're working on those things for sure. But as a general rule, people will be required to wear masks. The governor also announced yesterday that all students and staff across North Carolina would receive 5 masks, 5 face coverings to wear, to use throughout the year. So that is definitely helpful to us, but obviously doesn't resolve all of our concerns. But one point there, we're really glad that at least we can get kids back in school part of the time. We all understand the significance of that. So another announcement I like to make is today the North Carolina High School Athletic Association announced that fall sports will be delayed until September 1st. The typical start date for fall sports is August 1st. So they have postponed the start of fall sports until September 1st. Our student athletes are working out under very strict protocol now and will continue to do so until we get further clearance for be able to walk into the next phase of our athletic opportunities. But again, great to have kids on campus, and our staff is doing a great job with safety protocol, checking temperatures and those things. And let me jump back one step, if you will. Underneath Plan B, that everyone that enters the school building must have a temperature check. So we have approximately 6,100 children in our district. And even if you cut that in half, That means we're checking temperatures of 3,000 kids a day and including staff. So we've got quite the task before us, but again, we'll continue to work through it. My final point is, Mr. Eller and the community, I want everyone to be careful with the information that they gather about schools and about conspiracies and different things. There's a lot of information that makes its way on social media that is absolutely not true. And I encourage you to check the Davie County Schools website, the Davie County government website, and the DHHS websites. We will keep up-to-date information there, and that information is valid. Now, it tends to change, as we've already heard from the governor's announcement, but at the same time, it will be accurate information. So again, thank you for the opportunity. And if anyone ever has questions or comments, please reach out to us. And that's my update for today, Mr. Eller. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Yeah, that's a good lesson. Always go to the source, right? And if you know, on social media, like all of us see from time to time, there's things on there that aren't accurate. So please utilize those websites you heard our superintendent refer to, because that's where you'll find the most recent information. Appreciate how hard you and your team have worked. Mr. Wallace, I'll tell you, planning for three different plans, not knowing which one the state would pick is a daunting task. And now that you know, it's still even a daunting task. And we're thinking about you and your staff and teachers and aides and everybody that works in the system. We appreciate how hard y'all are working for us. So thank you. All right, we'll turn it over now to our special guest for today. We have Recreation and Parks Director, Mr. Paul Moore, to tell us about another big announcement that happened in Davie County this week. Mr. Moore, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, John. Welcome everybody who's joining on the call or will be joining on the call. Yesterday was a special day for our Davie County community, in that the new Davie County Community Park that has long been awaited for is now open to the public. A few things to note: while we are open, we are following current phase 2 restrictions. So what does that mean? First and foremost, the splash pad, which is our most coveted feature in the park, opened yesterday. It is open, but it's by pre-registration only. So in other words, we have an online active network system, which you can access via our website at www.daviecountync.gov. From that point, you can find departments and click on Recreation and Parks and find the access to our active network site. You can always call us at 336-753-8326 if you choose to do so. The splash pad works as follows. We have time slots for every specific day, Monday through Sunday. You'll get on the site, type in Splash, create your account, then type in Splash Pad and find the date and time slot in which you would like to register for. And it's as simple as that. We do have on our Davie County Recreation Park Facebook page a tutorial on how to create your account and how to register you and other participants in your family for the splash pad. In addition, our outdoor amenities, most of our outdoor amenities are open with the exception of our inclusive playground, our Elevate Fitness course, and our ball fields. As you know, playgrounds and fitness type of apparatuses are still closed in phase 2. While our ball fields could be open, we are still prepping that with sprig grass and making sure we get a good germination on that field before we open play. Indoor amenities, so we've got a large facility, indoor recreation facility, in which is for programs and camps only at this time. So to run through a short list of what those are, we have camps including lacrosse, leadership camp, dance and tumbling camps. Other programming include Zumba, our Mideastern Martial Arts program, our Nature Connections, and today we kicked off our Mobile Rec Days, as July is National Parks and Recreation Month. We ventured out to Coolamy today and had a great time. The rest of those Mobile Rec Days are July 22nd at Farmington Community Center, July 29th at the community park here on site. And in addition, last but not least, another event that is coming we're so excited for is our drive-in movies. Here we've got a large parking lot. A lot of buzz has been created that about our drive-in movies, so they will kick off on July 24th with Frozen 2. Tickets are available online. We have double screens, so we'll have parking on each side of the screen, and we have FM transmitters that you will be able to listen to the movie through the convenience of your own radio. We do have cars social distancing apart. We ask people to stay in their cars for that movie. Our next movie will be July 31st, Wonder Park, then August 14th for The Lion King, and August 31st for Secret Life of Pets 2. So we're really excited to open our park. Again, all of our other outdoor amenities, such as the dog park, our walking trails with 5 different surface types are open. Our horseshoe and bocce courtyard is open. Our splash pad is open as well. And our outdoor turf stadium field is open, and there are certain restrictions for those to be able to access the turf field. We've already had a couple of groups come in and fill out a simple facility use agreement. We just need to know what groups are on it and what you will be doing. It's simple as that. No pre-registration, but you do have to come in and fill out a facility use agreement to do so. With that, that is all of our updates. Again, we thank our community for all their hard work in helping us create your new community park. As we have stated from the beginning, 8 out of the first 10 amenities that are included with your Phase 1 park were picked and selected by you, the residents. So we thank you very much for that. And John, I'll turn that back over to you.
Thank you, Paul. We know how hard you've worked, and you and your staff planned for the day that we have this week for the opening, and can't wait to see that park used at full capacity when the restrictions are eased, and we can have a concert series on the lawn at the amphitheater and full programming occurring throughout the park. But at least our citizens can get their feet on the park and see what's happening. So again, thank you for your hard work, and we appreciate you very much. Okay, with that, now we'll transition into our weekly Health and Human Services update. Ms. Suzanne Wright, our Health and Human Services Director, is here with us to give us that update. Ms. Wright?
Thank you, Mr. Eller. To date, there have been 278 total lab confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Davie County. We have 36 active cases currently, and 1 individual is hospitalized at this time. July 8th was the first day since May 11th that we did not have a new case or cases in Davie County. And of course, that was short-lived, but it was a bright spot for July. So I'm hoping we start trending in that direction. But anyway, the next point is Davie County Division of Public Health is partnering with Carolina Community Tracing Collaborative to recruit 1 bilingual investigator and 2 contact tracers to assist with our response, our COVID-19 response in Davie County. And once hired, these positions will support investigation and contact tracing efforts remotely using the state contact tracing tool. So we look forward to getting some additional help for staff here. Also wanted to remind everybody that we're only posting the Davie County numbers twice a week. I know that people have asked, well, if you're only posting twice a week, are you not reporting numbers to the state? Well, the state reports those numbers to us, but if we get additional ones from local providers, then we turn those into the state. So that communication is happening daily, regardless of whether we post on our website or not. So I just want to make that point clear. And for those that haven't heard, North Carolina extended Phase 2 for 3 more weeks, or through August 7th. And so those are my updates for today, Mr. Eller. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. We appreciate all you and your team are doing and how you support everybody and the consultation you're giving. We'll turn it over now to our Sheriff, Mr. J.D. Hartman, to give us his update. Sheriff?
Good afternoon, everyone. Nothing new today, really, for the Sheriff's Office. Just a reminder again that The Chief Superior Court Judge has issued an administrative order that anybody in the courthouse has to have a mask on. So if you have business in the Davie County Courthouse, please bring a mask or wear a mask while you're in the courthouse. That's all I have for today, Mr. Eller.
All right, Sheriff, thank you for you and your deputies keeping all of us safe and for all you do for us. We'll turn it over now to Emergency Services Director, Mr. Brian Byrd, to give us his weekly update. Mr. Byrd?
Good afternoon, Mr. Eller. Not a lot of updates this week. We don't really have any changes in response or staffing. We're just staying alert, protecting ourselves and the public as we go about our daily routine and answer our calls for service. The state's Emergency Operations Center is still working around the clock, and we have a weekly statewide call with our central branch coordinator so that we can stay informed. During yesterday's call, we found out that any of the citizens that are using the Ready NC phone app to get their information, that app will soon stop working if it hasn't already. The amount of information that emergency management is trying to share is just more than that phone app can handle. And so the decision was made to discontinue supporting that app, but people can still go to readync.org, the website, and find out the information that they want to know. And for those of you that don't have it, that website will gives you weather and road conditions, power outages. It'll tell you if shelters are open, evacuations. It gives you information about how to set an emergency plan and build an emergency kit. And during the coronavirus situation, there's a lot of information on there about public assistance and testing and those sort of things. So that's readync.org. You'll have to go to the website real soon. Lastly, while we're talking about public assistance, I'll just be real frank with you. I've been a little bit disappointed at the speed at which some of the FEMA answers come back to us. But I got a graphic sent to me yesterday from the Department of Public Safety. It makes me feel a little bit better. Throughout the state, so far, a lot of these projects that have been applied for reimbursement, they're all going forward. It's just so many projects going forward that the project process is slow. Right now, only 8.5% of the funds have been obligated back to counties, but the FEMA rep I talked to said that they're working diligently to work with counties and municipalities and try to get this money flowing. And just so you know, at present, there's been about $3 million obligated back to counties, and so we're looking to get our part as soon as we can, and we'll keep working towards that goal. And that's all I have for you today, Mr. Eller.
Thank you, Mr. Byrd. We appreciate all you and your folks do for us as well. We'll transition now to 911 and communications update. Mr. Rodney Pierce is our director there. Mr. Pierce, give us an update.
Thank you, Mr. Eller. No significant updates as well. Just a reminder regarding screening questions. We will continue to ask those on our medical and law enforcement calls, so please be patient with our telecommunicators when they're fielding your calls. Also, as a reminder for any local information, you can contact the health department number, or for any general state information regarding the phases, direct those to 211 or the state hotlines for those information. That's about all we've got coming from the 911 center at this date, and it's back to you, Mr. Eller.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. We appreciate you. All right, Mr. Johnny Lambert, our Director of Public Utilities, has a few words for us. Mr. Lambert, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Eller. So we're still working under the governor's executive order. This order is supposed to expire July 29th. We're hoping to get more direction from the governor's office as the weeks come up to that date, but we're still suspending disconnections. So no water or sewer disconnections. We still have all late penalties suspended, so none of that will be added until July 29th if the order isn't extended out. We're still asking customers if they haven't made payments on their water bills or are having trouble paying their water bills to please call our office at 336-753-6090 and set up payment arrangements with one of the staff here. And then, as we know, things are starting to open back up. We're saying, the CDC has pushed a lot of information out about water being sitting in pipes, and that information is out there at the cdc.gov website, they just want you to flush some of that old water out of your system, get new water in the pipes, and get rid of some of the taste and odor from that water just sitting there. And that's all we have today, Mr. Eller. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. Okay, team, we appreciate all of you. Thanks for joining us. And for our citizens, we appreciate you tuning in to us as well. We tell you every week at the end of our presentation, don't forget, you can get any questions or themes or information you want to see from us. You have the link there on your screen to be able to go to get that to us. We do review those as we get them. But that wraps us up for this week. So we will be back with our next update soon. And we do thank you for joining us. Our prayers go out to those impacted by COVID-19 and also those who continue to respond to it each and every day. We appreciate the community so much for stepping up and for just providing great services by the departments who are on the phone today to others, and everybody's chipping in to try to do their best. And we appreciate our whole community collectively teaming together to be able to respond accordingly. So with that, we hope you'll tune in to our next episode. Take care.